You ever notice how the moment you think about quitting, your chest tightens? Like there's a pressure sitting right behind your ribs, whispering that maybe you're tired, maybe you're done, maybe this is where strong people finally admit defeat. You ever feel that quiet shame creep in when you even consider walking away, like the world is watching, judging, measuring you? Breathe in. Slow. Deep. Hold it. And let it out. Let me tell you something most people never understand. Quit is not your weakness. The fear of what quitting means is what's choking you. You were trained to believe quitting equals failure. You were conditioned to think endurance is virtue, suffering is loyalty, staying is strength. But nobody ever told you the truth. Nobody ever told you that the world isn't ruled by the ones who stay. It's ruled by the ones who know when to leave. You stay too long. In situations that drain you. Around people who study your limits and exploit them. In games where the rules were never written in your favor. And every time you think about quitting, your mind attacks you. You're weak. You're giving up. You'll regret this. Exhale slowly. That voice isn't morality. It's programming. See, power doesn't come from endless endurance. Power comes from choice. From the ability to detach without apology. From the cold clarity to say, this no longer serves me, and walk away without explaining yourself to anyone. You ever notice how the most dangerous people rarely look exhausted? They're calm, measured, unbothered. That's because they don't bleed themselves dry for validation. They don't stay trapped in losing positions just to prove a point. They exit. Silently. Strategically. And here's the secret they never say out loud. Quitting isn't retreat. It's repositioning. Feel that tension loosen. You weren't meant to stay loyal to things that disrespect your energy. You weren't meant to sacrifice your mind just to be seen as strong. Strength isn't staying. Strength is knowing you could stay and choosing not to. Most people are terrified of quitters because quitters are unpredictable. They break patterns. They refuse to be controlled by guilt. They don't beg. They don't linger. They disappear. And disappearance, that's power. You see, when you stop explaining yourself, people panic. When you stop fighting for approval, they feel it. When you stop reacting, stop chasing, stop proving, the dynamic shifts. Suddenly you're not the one trying anymore. Suddenly they are. Quitting removes access. Quitting starves manipulation. Quitting denies the other side the satisfaction of watching you struggle. That's why they shame it. That's why they call it weakness. Because if you understood how powerful quitting really is, you'd stop playing roles designed to exhaust you. Let me tell you something about endurance. Endurance without leverage is self-destruction. Endurance without respect is submission. You don't owe loyalty to pain. You don't owe consistency to suffering. You don't owe explanations to anyone who benefits from your silence and sacrifice. Take a deep breath. Think about how many times you stayed when leaving would have changed everything. How many nights you swallowed anger. How many mornings you woke up heavy, already drained. You weren't weak. You were invested. An investment without return is stupidity, not strength. The moment you accept that quitting is a skill, not a flaw, everything changes. You start observing instead of reacting. You stop announcing your limits. You stop warning people before you withdraw. You just go quiet. And silence rewires the entire room. You ever notice how silence makes people uncomfortable? How they rush to fill it? How they reveal themselves when you stop engaging? That's not accidental. Silence forces truth to surface. When you quit arguing, quit explaining, quit justifying, you step out of emotional labor. You conserve power. And here's the part nobody prepares you for. When you quit something that's been draining you, you don't feel instant relief. At first, there's guilt, a strange emptiness, a sense of who am I without this struggle? Good. That discomfort is detox. That's your nervous system recalibrating. That's what freedom feels like before it feels good. Don't mistake withdrawal for regret. Don't confuse silence with loneliness. You're not losing anything real. You're shedding dead weight. And the people who benefited from your endurance? They'll feel it immediately. They'll test you, provoke you, try to pull you back into the cycle. Stay cold. Stay quiet. Let them talk. Quitting is only weak when it's emotional, when it's reactive, when it's loud. But when quitting is calm, when it's deliberate, when it's silent, it becomes dominance. You stop asking, what will they think? You start asking, what does this cost me? And once you see the cost clearly, you'll never stay where you're undervalued again. Okay, let me tell you something you desire. You don't need closure. You don't need permission. You don't need to be understood. Understanding is overrated. Results are not. The world rewards those who conserve their energy, not those who burn it for applause. And every time you choose to quit something that diminishes you, you reclaim a piece of yourself that was being quietly stolen. This isn't about giving up. This is about choosing yourself without theatrics, without speeches, without guilt. You don't slam doors. You don't announce exits. You don't look back for validation. You simply stop participating. And that's when everything starts to bend in your favor. Because once you stop participating, a new question appears in the silence. Not loud. Not urgent. Just steady. Now what? Inhale. Slow. Controlled. And exhale. This is where most people freeze. They quit the thing that was killing them, but they don't know how to move forward without the pain they were used to carrying. So let me tell you how this actually works. Cold. Clean. Effective. You don't rush forward. You don't replace noise with more noise. You don't jump into the next trap just to feel busy again. You slow down. Moving forward starts with restraint, with watching instead of acting, with letting the dust settle while everyone else is still emotional. You've been reactive for too long. Every trigger got a response. Every demand got your energy. That stops now. Take a deep breath in. Feel your shoulders drop. Breathe out. The first step forward is recalibration. You detach your worth from motion. You stop measuring progress by how exhausted you are. Rest is not laziness. Stillness is not stagnation. Silence is not weakness. Stillness is where predators sharpen their focus. You start paying attention to patterns. Who only shows up when they need something? Which situations drain you faster than they reward you? Where your attention leaks without return. You don't confront. You don't accuse. You observe. Because observation without reaction gives you leverage. And leverage is how you move forward without resistance. Inhale slowly. Hold it. And release. Next, you redefine discipline. Not as punishment. Not as suffering. But as selective effort. You don't do more. You do less, better. You cut access. You limit availability. You guard your time like it's currency, because it is. Every yes now has a cost. Every commitment must earn its place. You stop explaining why you're unavailable. You stop apologizing for boundaries. No becomes clean. Simple. Final. And the more you say no, the quieter your mind becomes. That quiet. That's clarity returning. Now comes the part most people avoid. Identity. When you quit what drained you, you create a vacuum. And nature hates empty space. If you don't fill it intentionally, something else will. Usually something just as destructive. So you rebuild yourself privately. No announcements. No rebrands. No new me speeches. Real change doesn't perform. It disappears and re-emerges unrecognizable. You begin doing things without telling anyone. Training your body. Training your mind. Strengthening your discipline in silence. You stop posting progress. You stop seeking witnesses. Power grows best when unobserved. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Forward movement isn't loud. It's subtle. It's boring. It's repetitive. And that's why it works. You build routines that don't depend on motivation. Because motivation is emotional. And emotion makes you predictable. Discipline is cold. Unromantic. Consistent. You don't chase intensity anymore. You chase control. Control over your reactions. Control over your schedule. Control over your energy. And slowly, without anyone noticing. Your posture changes. You speak less. When you speak, people listen, because you no longer need anything from them. As you move forward, understand this. Some people will try to reconnect, not because they value you, but because they felt the absence of your energy. They'll test old buttons. Use nostalgia. Use guilt. Stay unmoved. Forward doesn't mean reopening doors. Forward means locking them permanently and throwing away the key. You don't owe access to your evolved self. And here's the final truth about moving forward. You don't feel powerful every day. You don't feel confident every moment. But you feel stable. No more emotional whiplash. No more inner chaos. No more proving. Just grounded presence. That's real strength. So you move forward quietly, strategically, without needing validation. You quit what weakens you. You keep what sharpens you. And one day, people will look at you and feel something they can't name. Distance. Authority. Finality. Because you learned the truth most never will. Quit was never your weakness. It was the doorway. And you walked through it, without looking back.